talking much.
Everything is all messed up, Ma.
Yeah.
Yeah, my camera ain't working. Camera ain't working.
How can someone not like mashed potatoes?
Oh, oh goodness, someone not like mashed potatoes.
Well, I mean, I can understand going, you know, but I mean, how can you?
But to
go
call it
gross?
disgusting, yeah, it's not that gross. I mean, geez.
Dodie. Especially when they like mac and cheese. Now, mac and cheese
That's the thing, right?
and mashed potatoes have a similar thing about them. Although I do like mac and cheese.
All right, so
Hi. I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. So I'm looking for my interview panelists, right? Where is it?
Your interview?
Yeah, I'm looking for. There we go.
Oh my.
There we go.
Oh, we're back. Are we back?
We're kind of. Gotta move myself back in the middle. Oh, camera's moved. All right, so everything's all screwed up. Hey guys, we're back, and we're waiting for Mick to show up. Well, yeah, we're live.
Hi.
Hey.
Mayo. Is that him?
He's not here.
What's that?
Restream link. Same one. 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 Same link. I'll give you the link if you want to. Hang on. Oh, you know what? Hang on.
What?
I got to get out of here. Oh, no. No.
No.
Let me see. Hang on. Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. We're so all over the place today. It's okay. It's not going to be able to access my cameras. What it's going to do. Unable to access camera. So change to the other camera.
Is that him? He's cute. And no, I don't say that about every single guy. Mayo Monkey's a kind of cute guy. He's got blondish hair.
Hey,
what?
Quit getting down on Mayo Monkey.
What about him? He's cute.
It's not fair.
He's cute.
There he is.
He's cute.
Hey.
I don't give a fuck.
There he is. Are you there?
Testing.
Yeah, I got you, man. We are back. Okay, all right.
Great.
Yeah. Sorry, we ran out of gas, dude. It happens.
No problem.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, man. So anyway, we're back on, man. It's all casual here, man. We don't do things professionally. We just do things to get the truth out, right? So anyway, where the hell were we? Hold on a second. Be right there. Yeah. So yeah, if you're just joining us, this is a completely disjointed stream, and we ran out of gas because we live in the middle of the woods, and we run out of gas, and so the gas is always going. So if you just remember that
this program is made possible by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.
Yep, we do this, man. We pour our lives into this, so we appreciate any help that you can give us. And you can access giving by going under the page that we have, the X page. And right there you will see links for tipping and also our link tree. So that's very important. You produce, or you help us produce independent news that isn't reading everybody else's talking points, man. We're independent here, man. We think for ourselves. So welcome here if you've never been here before. Did you get a drink? Are you okay?
I'm good, sir. I'm good.
All right. Well, where were we, man? Where were we on the list? They can't see you. They can see me, and they can see the list. So let's carry on.
Okay. We were at number 17. Get control of the schools, use them as transmission belts for socialism and current communist propaganda.
Wow, that's a big
Soften
one.
the curriculum. Get control of the Teachers Association. Put the party line in the textbooks.
Yeah.
That is a win for them.
Yeah. Big win. I don't think anybody can disagree with that right now. I don't, especially in Maine schools where The diversity, equity, inclusion is going big time. Yeah, nobody can deny this one, I don't think. They've won this one, ideologically speaking. They've got our schools, which is a real problem, guys. We got to get the commies out. And you're like, what do you mean? This is the reason that we're doing this for people, okay, is because people go, oh, come on, man, communism? Geez, really? Seriously? Are you trying to tell me that we got a communist country? Come on, man. Yeah, well, look. We just took you through all the points introduced in 1963. Am I right, Mick?
Yes, sir. So far.
Yeah. So let's go on.
Okay. Gain control of student newspapers. Done. Use student riots to foment public protests against programs or organizations which are under communist attack. The Vietnam War.
Yeah. And most recently, last summer, the Palestinian protesters. Let's not forget those.
Yep.
Right?
Yes, sir. And other people have taken this model and are using it for their own groups and subgroups.
Right.
Well, infiltrate the press. Get control of book review assignments, editorial rating, and policy-making positions.
Right.
Done and done.
Yes. Completely. So, I mean, if you really think about it, though, I mean, if this is what we're faced with, if this is the reality of what has been done to us, can we not use this as a reverse roadmap? Am I crazy here? Like, for example, I mean, we have to take back control of the media. Okay? And so where I am getting a lot of hope is Elon Musk, because we are the new media right now, what we're doing. Okay? So, I guess what I'm saying is isn't this, can we not apply it in reverse? I mean, we don't know what the tactics are to achieve that necessarily, but I mean, it's if that's what they did to us, don't you think we need to undo what they did to us?
Well, we need to undo it, and we also need to use the rules for radicals against them.
Right. And that's the Saul Alinsky book, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yep. They've been doing this for how long now? How long have they been at this, Mick?
Let's see. The Naked Communist was published in 1953, I think.
Right. And
it really hit. They took over the colleges in the 1970s.
Yep. Well, I think that has a whole lot to do with the fact that we live in a world where, honestly, here's the hard part, is that we live in a world of apathy, I think. Right? I mean, we live in a country where 350 million people exist, but yet we're talking about only 150 million people voted. That seems odd to me.
You notice the recent uptick in the use of the word empathy, right?
Yes. Very much so.
Empathy was created in the Frankfurt School in the 1950s.
Oh, was it really?
And yes.
No, this I did not know, because I don't particularly care for the Frankfurt School. Okay. I don't like them.
But I don't believe empathy exists unless you have also gone through a similar experience. I don't think you can have empathy for someone for something you yourself have not experienced. True empathy.
Right. Philosophically, I would say that I would have to agree with you. I mean, you cannot truly relate and have empathy for what it's like to squeeze out a child. As much as I hate that, okay, because the left does use that, okay. They say, hey, you can't weigh in on, you can't have true empathy towards abortion, for example, if you've never been in those shoes. How do you answer that argument?
Yeah.
Fuck.
What do you say to that?
And see, what empathy is to me, and it's not the technical definition. To me, it's sympathy without accountability or blame.
So you're equating it more toward virtue signaling, aren't you? You're saying it's more like virtue signaling than it is a true character trait.
Well, I think a lot of people use it for virtue signaling.
Okay, fair enough. So does that mean, though, that it's impossible for someone to actually have that virtue? It's not a virtue? I mean, I know I'm being a dick about it, but that's my job.
No, no. All it is sympathy. All you really can have for them is sympathy.
Right.
If you've never lost a parent at an early age, you will never understand what that's like. If you've never been addicted to a substance,
right,
you will never understand what that's like.
Right. Is sympathy enough? Do we need to have empathy? What does empathy mean then? Why do we need a new word for it?
Because it takes accountability out of the picture. Personal accountability, I believe.
Right. Right.
Which is something, one of the reasons AA and NA have been so successful is that's the one thing you got to do is admit what you did wrong.
Right. Right. Yeah, I was a member of AA, by the way, for many years.
Yeah. My dad was.
Yeah,
I mean, I grew up with it. I don't drink now because the roadmap that was laid out in front of me as a child.
Yeah. Well,
I've got other family members that went down the other road.
Yeah, and that's interesting because I've talked to so many people that become what their parents are, despite everything, and then we have the other people that are, I will never walk that path. And I cannot tell you the difference between those two people. I don't understand why generational curses work with one set of people and don't with the other. I don't know
I can tell you in Maine, especially with alcohol and drugs, it's the culture. Drinking is part of Maine life for most Mainers.
Right.
And it's an everyday, all the time thing. When I worked in Iraq and Afghanistan for many years as a contractor, and being separated from my family, I saw my niece, when she was born, saw her again at 3 years old, again at 5 years old, and then I finally bought a property up there, and we had a big reunion one summer. Big reunion, two families, but
right
on the property. And my niece asked me what was wrong with me because I didn't drink.
Oh.
Because every adult she knew drank.
Right.
Okay.
All the time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's so ingrained in the culture up there. Everybody takes a traveler with them.
Yep.
I guarantee if you set up a roadblock in the middle of the day on a heavy shopping weekend in Lewiston after 5 o'clock, half the car's going to have an open container in them, if not more.
Wow, that's pretty big.
All you see going up and down the roads in Maine are those little bottles of Hot Damn.
Well, so let me ask you a question. What the hell are we self-medicating from? What's going on? Why are we so in need to be obliterated and fucking running away from reality? I mean, what the hell? Because I've got substance abuse issues.
Yeah.
So and there's nothing to be embarrassed about. But what the hell's going on, man?
NAFTA destroyed Western Maine.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a town. I went to high school in Jay, Mount Blue and Jay. Mount Blue my first 2 years, and Jay my second 2 years. Jay, Maine was a wonderful place because on our tax books we had International Paper Company and what was the other one? We had 2 paper mills in our borders. So we were one of 2 independent school districts in the entire state. Employee wages were above $25 an hour in the 1980s. in Western Maine.
Yep.
If your mother worked, if your dad worked in a mill, if your mother worked, most likely she did piecework at Bass Shoe.
No. Yep.
You know, and guess what? She went to work after she put you on the school bus. She did her piecework and went and was there when you got home and got paid a damn good wage for it.
Right.
But NAFTA and the Labor Department took their shots at the same time. The Labor Department said that piecework was worked against people with disabilities.
Yep.
So they pretty much regulated it out of existence. So mothers either had to work full-time, part-time. They could no longer make their own schedules.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a bigger problem in general, is that this idea that they convinced Americans that the only way to have the good life is to have both of the parents working, which separated the kids from the parents.
Well, no.
And I think that was a disaster.
But that piecework program didn't do that. It allowed the parents to work outside the home, but still be there when their kids got home from school.
I see.
You know,
Right.
When that ended, then you went on the the same time schedule as the mill worker father, and that started the latchkey kids up.
Right.
Or chased them out.
I was raised a latchkey kid, man. I was like, seriously, man, given a key, you get off of school, you're at home, your parents are at work, that's the way it goes, man. That's just the way it goes.
But then NAFTA started taking out the mills, and actually it was the unions that destroyed J-Main itself, because the union, after a 2-year strike, walked away from the workers.
Stop.
Most of which never walked back into that mill until it closed.
Right.
And that digester that blew up a couple years back finished it off.
So
remember when that big digester?
No, I don't. I'm not familiar with that.
Okay. It's what dissolves the wood, the pulp.
Okay, right.
It's just a big chemical boiling process.
Yeah. Well, we're number one as far as wood processing in the country. I mean, people don't know that, right?
Yeah. But it blew up and pretty much destroyed the mill. It did the cost to rebuild a digester is what destroyed the mill.
Right. Well, that brings into a bigger question, is that the things that we do as a government, like, for example, we just sold about, I don't know, what is it, 60 acres, 600 acres or some shit like that in the ocean to put windmills in there, which screw up the sonar of the whales, which purportedly we were supposed to be giving a shit about in the beginning.
Well, yeah, because that's why we're killing the lobstermen, right?
Right.
For the whales?
Right, for the whales, right? And so we're shutting down the lobstering industry. And then we just sold this huge chunk of property to put up a bunch of noisemakers that screw up the whales. That cause them to beach themselves. And then we're all going to stand around and going, why is there a beached whale on the beach? Like, we're like, wow. I mean, people are stupid. It's like, hello, it's called the law of unintended consequences. Well, these people, none of them. I mean, most of the NPCs, they have no logic, Nick. They're none whatsoever.
No, and they have no historical context.
Right. It's hysterical.
The first attack against the paper mills came from the EPA.
Okay.
Everything those mills used to dump into the rivers was licensed.
Right. Well, let me ask you a question about that then. Okay, since we're into solving problems, and I want to be interesting and not just like in a fucking echo chamber, okay? What about the person that says, well, it sucks when you throw chemicals into the goddamn river. It fucks people up. What do you say to that? I mean, I get it. I think that government overreach is real. Okay? And I think that, I shouldn't need a fucking license for my dog. I think it's ridiculous. as well as a number of other things. And I think we're so overregulated. So make your case for why in particular that was a bad thing. I mean, why aren't the environmentalists right? Well, we want clean rivers, we want nice water, right? Why not?
What costs, though? The entire logging industry in the Northwest United States was shut down to save an owl because it supposedly wouldn't breed with humans nearby and, being interrupted by humans.
Right.
Guess what? That owl's damn near extinct now.
Right.
And we took all the humans out of the humans out of the woods.
Right. And I do agree that in order to, I think that we are commanded to be good stewards of the earth, right? The question is, how do we go about achieving that, right? And how do we go about doing that? And
I think the people of Maine should have that decision and not the federal government.
Yes.
I think the people of Maine should have the choice of what to do with their rivers and their lands.
Right. Well, let me ask you another question then. Okay.
And the federal government only comes into play per the Constitution where that one state's land ends and another one meets at a water source.
Right. Okay, so what do you think of referendum type systems? I mean, talking about changing the way we handle politics, okay? Do you have an opinion on the referendum system? And I'm not quite sure what the state of it is in Maine in comparison to other places. I'm just not that familiar.
We are way behind on referendums, and they have used that against us. That's how they brought in ranked choice voting.
Right.
And I don't think the people, as a group, honestly, are politically and intellectually intelligent enough anymore. Because they make all these calls to somebody's emotion to get this stuff passed.
Right.
And people fall for it. We no longer have an intelligent electorate.
No, I agree with you. We don't. So how do you motivate an electorate that is stupid? I mean, I don't know how to put it any other way. Unintelligent, uninformed, not like you and I, whatever euphemism you want to use. I'm sorry for saying the word stupid, but when you choose to not pay attention to what's going on around you, but you still exercise your vote, then you're going to vote for stupid shit like, she's a woman, oh yay.
But what your first foray into politics happened Saturday morning in between cartoons.
Meaning?
I'm only a bill sitting here on Capitol Hill.
Right.
Remember those?
Yes, I do. I certainly do.
That's when your foray into politics and your education about politics started.
Stop.
Hey, Wingnut.
Yeah, when I started high school, it was called civics. When I ended high school, it was called social studies and was a whole nother different program.
Apparently. Right.
People don't understand systems anymore.
No, they don't.
That's why people blame police instead of courts.
Right. And I mean, yes, it's a dumbing down of society, right, in general. And I agree with you. Again, the question I ask is, how in the world do we reverse it? Because we've got a whole lot of people out there. I mean, when you start really thinking about the vast number of people that have been misled by the mainstream media, and we've lost generations here. I mean, what do we do about that?
All we can do is educate, and we have to by every available means.
Yeah.
Just like every time a Democrat said, "Save our democracy,"
Oh my God.
there should have been a Republican pundit screaming at the top of his lungs that we are a representative republic and not a democracy.
Correct.
And then describe what a true democracy is.
Right.
Using the the two wolves and a sheep deciding what's for dinner.
Yes.
Example.
Yes. Well, I am encouraged because nationally speaking, the Trump administration is talking about actually deleting the Department of Education, or if not deleting it, making it stand for some very clear things, and that we should be across the country teaching the Constitution of the United States of America. We should be teaching all of the things about our history that are correct. Now, again, it's going to be a shitstorm because, well, who's the one that decides what the history is? You know, who's the one that decides? Well, we have to be the ones that are in control and decide what the damn history is, because otherwise they're going to write it wrong.
I mean, you know who decides who the history is? Let's be honest.
The ones that are in power.
The winner.
Yes. 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 And if we're fortunate now that we are.
Let's stop seeding. Let's stop seeding that part of winning to other people.
Correct.
You know.
Correct. Yeah.
I look at.
We're too
I'm on YouTube
compassionate.
I'm normally on a.
We are too compassionate, Mick. That's what I believe it
Yes.
is. It's because we're Christian and we don't want to be like okay, all right, it's our turn. We don't want to slap them back as hard as they slapped us, I think. And I think what Christians don't understand is that evil does not stop. It will not stop, okay, unless it is furnished an incentive to stop. This is why Jesus came, okay? This is what I'm trying to rile people up, man. It's not like, it just pisses me off when people are like, well, Jesus will handle all of it. Hey, Jesus flipped tables, dude. He's just example. Let's get busy.
That's one of the problems with the Bible is it contradicts itself.
It does. But that's because in order to winnow down the number of people that get it, I've understood this for a long time. It's in the part where it says, they shall be ever seeing but never perceiving. Okay? It's there. It's like it's been pitched out and people have already been decided they're not going to get it.
Well, and it's just like, how many times have you used the spare the rod, spoil the child? Completely out of context.
Yes, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree.
Completely out of context.
Yep.
And reversed.
Yep.
And I rarely hear Christians speak out against it when it's said.
Right. Yeah, no, there's like, for example, this is a good one. You're not allowed to judge me. The Bible says, judge not, ye lest ye be judged. What's your answer to that, Mick?
I'm being judged every day.
My answer to that one is...
My
answer to that one is, I don't have a log in my eye, bitch.
Oh, bitch.
Okay? That's what mine is. And don't you shame me. Don't you shame me into a corner and tell me judge not. No, it says first do this. Then you can do that. Okay? Now, I've taken care of the homework. You understand what I'm saying? I sleep real good at night. So don't get in my face about this, especially if you say you're going to be a Christian, because this is where the Bible explicitly gives me a right to judge your ass. Okay? It's not a prohibition. It's actually, when you do it correctly. Does that make sense?
Most Christians have never read the Bible.
No.
Yeah.
You're right.
And that's specifically why the communists took it out of the schools.
Yeah. And why people why people were too stupid to stand against it, because they never understood that if you take out like Jesus, if you've never seen the movie that what's it called? Time Traveler. This guy travels back he's 1800s, and he travels forward in time, actually. And he's trying to argue that you can have a morality without Jesus Christ. And in the future, a kid steals his wiener, his hot dog in Central Park. So he chases the kid down, and he goes, that's wrong. Why did you steal? And the little kid looks at him and says who? Okay, says who? That has been the biggest damn problem, is because there's no accountability to any external moral authority anymore, right?
Well,
says who?
well,
Why is it wrong? I was
the
fucking
thing is-
hungry to eat this thing. Why is it wrong, Mick? I was
but
hungry.
the thing is, right? That's social justice.
Right, it is.
That's why I'm allowed to steal $900 worth of stuff in California.
You nailed it. Perfectly good
and not
example.
be prosecuted.
Right.
Because I'm supposedly hungry. I steal TVs because I'm hungry.
Right. Yep.
You know.
Yep. 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 Very astute. And I think that's exactly what's going on right now.
Yeah. And that's their excuse. You know, oh, I'm hungry. No, you're not. Because the biggest health problem for America's poor is obesity.
Yes. Right. Which is why everybody should be on board with the RFK Jr. thing, right?
And the first thing he needs to tackle is SNAP, sir. The SNAP program.
Yeah.
Food stamps.
Yep. So tell me, what would you do about SNAP? Because I happen to be a beneficiary of such. And
Okay.
And so I find it very helpful. Okay. I mean, you ran into a guy that, like, here I am,
Yeah.
you know, you like me, and during I collected money from the COVID stuff too, the paycheck protection. And I'm like, hey, I'll never vote for it, but you know what, as a policy, but if you're giving it out, I'm going to take it. So I guess answer that. I don't know. I'm just curious.
Okay. Instead of giving you coupons, well, not coupons anymore, but a debit card that you can give to anyone and they can use in a store,
Right.
in exchange for cash. How about we make it like WIC? And there's items marked in the grocery store that are SNAP eligible.
Okay.
But these are only healthy items. It's not potato chips and ice cream.
Right. Now, it's interesting because you specified, because I've seen the term WIC and I've seen the term SNAP, and I have been a SNAP benefit for 5 years, but yet I still am not familiar with the differentiation you're talking about. Would you please explain that to me? Because
WIC is women and children program.
Oh, okay. Women and children. Okay. All right.
And it's to provide
kind of the orphan and the widow thing. Is that the kind of idea?
It's a high protein diets for young mothers and children.
Okay.
You know, and pregnant women.
Okay.
Because poor women had a healthy fat and protein deficiency when it started. So they were allowed to get things like chicken, cheese.
Tater, come. Stop.
You know, but they could only get certain products.
Right. Okay.
And
all right.
And that food stamps started like that too. The SNAP program started like that too. But it eventually, you know, well, why can't I buy a birthday cake for my kid?
Right.
And the Democrats in Congress, you know, oh, you know, little Johnny couldn't have a birthday cake because SNAP benefits didn't cover it.
So let me ask
now
you
we're
a
going to
question.
allow it.
So are you in favor of SNAP benefits covering whole and healthy foods? Meaning that you've at least got to whip it up yourself. Like, because we got a whole problem in this country that people don't know how to cook. Like, see, because I used to be into the CSA thing, and we had to teach people literally what the hell to do with a chicken because they didn't know how to fucking cut it up. Okay, I mean, we provided farm fresh, but they didn't know what the hell to do with it because they're used to buying shit in a plastic package all diced up.
Yeah, but you know what exists today? YouTube.
Yes, it does. Oh, but everybody
That's the
doesn't
learning
have internet
platform of
access
the
and they don't have
ages.
IDs. You know, there's Granny sitting out there on her porch. She doesn't have any internet access. She has no ID and she doesn't have the internet. Remember her? I'm sorry, I'm being facetious.
But take her SNAP benefits and put her in Meals on Wheels.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
And we could do a national. You see all these meal programs, right? Like Factor.
Yes.
HelloFresh and all that.
Yeah.
We could put our seniors on those.
Yeah.
Dedicated to their health problems.
Yeah. That's true.
Specifically.
That's
for
true.
Diabetes, heart disease.
Oh,
you
listen, my wife had a heart problem, and make a long story short, she winds up in the hospital for 3 days, and they weren't able to figure out. They were giving her the standard American diet according to the pyramid. Dry turkey, orange juice, and I don't know what the hell else, okay? They're completely clueless, okay? And toast, right, with butter, And I'm just like going, man, you people are Neanderthals. You're sitting here, there's no diagnostic value regarding nutrition, what you're doing here. The entire problem was that she was on RO water, reverse osmosis water. And you can't have electrical signals in your body travel without, people don't know this. Water is not conductive. It's only because of the metals and the salts within the water. If you have pure distilled water, you put two ends of the wire in there, you cannot create an electrical circuit. You cannot get that light bulb to light up. And so is the way your brain is.
Yep, and that's the problem with all this filtered water nowadays.
Yep.
And bottled water.
Yep. It is. People don't realize, right? And the problem is that it's almost seems like, hey, I know this sounds cynical, but hey, we're the hospital guys. Why do you make a diet that would like make people fat, obese, and shit so we can get lots of patients? Okay, we'll do that for you. It does kind of almost seem that way. It seems as if doctors, seriously, are you fucking shitting me? I am an everyday guy out here, and I figured that out 4 years ago, and my doctor still is going, you want a shot? Crazy.
Yeah, but guess what, dude? You're part of the 2% of America that understands that.
Right.
Most Americans don't.
Ooh.
You're looking at an entire generation of kids that was fed out of a microwave oven.
You're right.
And they were pandered to by their parents. If I didn't like, the only thing my mother would not force me to eat was liver.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, that made me sick
Other
too.
than that, if I didn't eat it, I didn't eat.
Right. Well, we started, man. My ex-wife, man. I remember the first time I threw down over the kids about finishing the plate, right? And
I have a problem with finishing the plate. I have a problem with letting kids be picky.
Right. Well, it was that kind of thing. We were into the just try a bite and then it'll be okay. And I'm like, no, we eat what you give them. And, so my wife and I, and I'm divorced from her. Okay. For one of those reasons is exactly that, was because I couldn't get to the point. Like one time my daughter disrespected mom. And so I marched into the room, poked my finger, okay, as dad, going, all right, now it's time for me to fucking step in. And she said, leave that poor child alone. And I'm like, it's time for a divorce. Right? Because it was like, you're dissing your mom. I had every right to be in here as a father figure, okay, and go, you need to listen to your mother. And we're not on the same page anymore, okay? And that's kind of the way I sort of feel about this country. We're not on the same page anymore. And I know we won, and I'm hopeful about all that. But what about all the other psychos out there that are still out there? The ones who are actually cutting their hair off, shaving their heads. What about all those weirdos out there? There's millions of them, dude.
We need to start ignoring them.
So that they go away by attrition?
They literally don't exist in most people's worlds.
Right.
One thing I realized, right? I'm involved with a group of African-American gentlemen. None of them which use the term African-American. Number one. He's got a YouTube show. And we get on there and chop it up all the time.
Right.
Because I really wanted the perspective after like George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, and all this.
Yeah.
because those were huge cultural shifts for us to the progressive side. All of those cases. And it's one of the things, and urban crime is tearing apart America. Because when Obama wrecked the huge housing complexes in the cities, he sent them out to the suburbs in small batches, which are now having the same, being affected by the same crime.
All right. Well, all right.
But most people don't have interactions with people that are not like them every day.
Right.
That are not from where they're from, see the same things they do, look like them, talk like them, or think like them.
Well, it's
look at transgenders, like 0.02% of the population.
Yeah.
Right? Why do they have so much power?
Well, it's because at the margins now, it's the tail wagging the dog, right? I mean, we've taken empathy and turned it into a weapon.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, okay, imagine how you feel. Okay, well, imagine how 99% of the rest of the fucking population feels. Like when we see you fucking kissing, and the reaction is as if I've looked in a bucket of maggots. How about that part? No. Well, we just got to make sure everybody's fucking happy. I don't know. I was raised to fucking understand the concept of, everybody's not going to be happy, son. You can't make everyone happy. Didn't you? Yeah. Weren't you told that when you grew up?
Oh, my dad's famous saying was, shit in one hand, wish in the other. See which one fills up first.
Where in the hell is that kind of speak these days, Mick? Right? Seriously, I mean, that's what the fuck we got to make great again. And when people go, well, what do you want to do? When you want to take us back to? Wow, right there. That's good, right there. Just stop right there. Hey, you can fucking drink out of the hose outside. Get the fuck outside. We'll see you when it gets dark. That's where we need to get back to.
Yeah.
Not lynching.
And the other one he would say is, like the Russians say, tough-ski, shit-ski.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Man, I one of the things I try and bring about on my radio broadcast or my podcast or whatever the fuck you want to call them these days, whatever this is that I'm trying to bring back, my days of, when I was 14, 15 years old. I'm going on 62 now. And where I would like sit there and watch a black and white movie. Comedy was funny. We could joke about Polacks and certain ethnic people, right? And shit was funny. And I'm like going, man, what happened to that, right? So what they think they've ran into societally, and in my opinion, personally, with your communist set of goals here, they made one flaw, okay? And that was they didn't wait for us fuckers to die. And when I'm talking about me, I'm talking about the early boomers, late Gen Xers, because we remember what it was like when it was good. If you'd have just fucking waited 10 more years, maybe 15 to make your move, you would have solidified power forever. But now, God help you pricks, because I'm retired and I'm a fucking old man and I don't got nothing better to do than get up your ass. You hear what I'm saying? And there's
you want to get back to the list because we can cover a lot of these in the next group.
Do it. Get back, man. Okay. I'm sorry. I talk a lot.
No, we're good. We're good. We're good, bro.
Yeah, man. I tend to pontificate. So just be, you're allowed. You're one of the few people in this world, Mick, that's allowed to interrupt me because you've been around long enough. You're OG, dude.
Whoa.
Okay.
No.
Gain control of key positions in television, radio, and motion pictures. Done.
Yes.
Done and done.
Yeah. Beyonce, Madonna, just go on. Yeah.
Yeah. Continue discrediting American culture by degrading all forms of artistic expression.
Now that's an
American Communist Cell was told to eliminate all good sculpture from parks, buildings, and substitute with shapeless, awkward, and meaningless forms.
Done.
Are you familiar with the Martin Luther King statue?
I'm so surprised that you brought that up. The one that looks like a big ass and penis or something like that, a big blobby thing. Yeah. We've seen that one before. The Martin Luther King statue.
And they took down all the Confederate generals.
Yes. Yep.
You know, there's actually a meaning in those statues, whether the horse has his hoof raised or not.
Oh, really?
That a lot of people don't know. Yeah, one is if his horse is raised, he either died or lived through the battle, and the other is opposite.
Oh, I see. So yeah, there's symbolism, and you know what?
Yeah.
Look, it's there to tell a story. They didn't win.
Yeah.
They didn't win, and we're not saying that everything about them was noble. But I just don't understand this press. But when you overlay what you're talking about is the Marxism, then you say, oh. Now I understand what they're doing.
Because they attacked the Black Regiment's statue and memorial in Boston the same way as they did the Southern generals.
Yep, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're correct on that, sir.
Yep. Control art critics and directors of art museums. Our plan is to promote ugliness, repulsive, and meaningless arts.
Yeah. Get the experts to say that it's really beautiful.
Yep. Eliminate all laws governing obscenity by calling them censorship and a violation of free speech and free press. Done.
Yeah. Yep.
Break down cultural standards of morality by promoting pornography and obscenity in books, magazines, motion pictures, radio, and TV. Done.
Yep.
Present homosexuality, degeneracy, and promiscuity as normal, natural, and healthy.
Oh, overdone.
Those
overdone.
And they used that normal, natural, and healthy phrase.
Oh, barf.
Specifically.
Barf. Yes. And you know, but again, I want to remind everybody who is watching this right now. Remind me of the date this was filed in the Congress.
Yep, 1963.
What'd you say?
1963.
Say that one more time.
1963.
Okay? This is what we're living today, people. This is why Mick, Mayo Monkey, is on the show today, okay? Because he's bringing you the truth that said, hello, this was around, okay, 60 years ago? Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Infiltrate the churches and replace reviled religion with social religion. Discredit the Bible and emphasize the need for intellectual maturity, which doesn't need a religious crutch.
Okay. All right. Full stop. This is definitely happening. Okay. And first of all, it's this idea that there are churches that are evangelical churches that have embraced social justice and that entire concept and actually the social gospel. And that, and again, anything that you add to gospel or justice makes it no gospel and no justice. That's the way it works. Okay.
And you want to know where you've seen this most lately is in the black community. Because politicians no longer go to the preachers. They go to the entertainers.
Yes. Yeah.
They used to control the black community through the churches. Now they've destroyed the churches. They have to find another route.
Right. But also Catholicism is in the ditch for very much this same reason, I think.
Catholicism needs to be in the ditch.
It is. I mean, it is.
Sir, I was raised Catholic, been recovering ever since.
Me too. And my wife too. You know? Yeah. But I mean, it's the same. It's that same damned idea. Okay. It's that same. It's that same loss of engaging. Okay, with the culture. And you know, I mean, I'm sure you've heard. Just go. You know, it's fine if you practice your church, but just go do it inside the walls of the church, right? You know, I mean, the gospel is supposed to be out there. Okay, it's supposed to be shaping our lives. And because it's shaping our lives, it's supposed to be shaping our government because we happen to be self-governed, so to speak. We're supposed to be.
Stop.
I hated going to church as a child.
Yeah. We all did, I
Because what
think.
kid wants to sit in a room full of people on Sunday morning for an hour
Yes,
and stand and kneel and have to behave, right?
right.
God never told me to talk to him. I had to go to church.
Right.
Nobody ever said, all he said is a church is two people together.
Right.
It's not a building.
No.
It's not an institution. It's not a corporation.
Right. Well, but let me tell you something. The Catholics, geez. Here's what I did this weekend. You know, I'm like kind of a fart in a windstorm. And I don't know if you've ever noticed, but I get on these Zooms, right? I do these things, man. I just spirit-led. And so I do these walking tours on Friday night and Saturday night. And I like to go to Europe. And we happen to go through some cathedrals. And some of these cathedrals I've actually been in, right? I toured England and stuff like that. And they're beautiful. They do lift up God. There's something amazing about them. But they're also filled with sarcophagi. They're filled with dead people. They're filled with, you know, a whole bunch of like honoring saints rather than Christ himself. And even the Catholic, the whole Catholic thing is the pulpit is not in the center because the preaching of God's word is not primary. That's why the pulpit is not in the center, and that's why it is in the center when you go into an evangelical church. And I don't think a lot of people know that. But when you go into those churches, okay, they feel as if they know. I mean, actually, I had a guy, a Catholic apologist, say that Catholics no longer need a mediator between God and man. And I'm like, but the scripture says there is one mediator between God and man, Christ Jesus. And that means that the church does not mediate. But they're like, no. It's all the church now has the keys. They got the power. It got handed over to them by Peter. And it's gone off like totally in the rails. And I love my Catholic brothers and sisters that love Jesus. But I'll tell you that if you're saved despite the error in the church, people. You need to come to a Protestant point of view. And not all Protestants have it right. Let me tell you, Protestants have their sacraments as well. And Protestants have fallen just as much to this Marxist bullshit that Mick's been telling us about. Because we have pastors that are cowardly. And they no longer take a stand on issues that matter. Hello? Okay? You can't be for abortion and be a Christian. You just can't. If you're a Democrat, get the hell out of the party. That's the way I feel about it. So, you know, but at the same time, I'm on this side where I'm going, hey, you know, what do I feel about Caitlyn Jenner being a Democratic mayor of California? Well, she's a tranny. Well, okay, or governor, or whatever the hell. But you know what I'm saying? It's like we're forced with these things on a daily basis. What do we bring in? How do we treat homosexuality? You know, my feeling is, hey, we love you, no matter who the shit you are. Okay, but we do feel that there's a better way to live. You know, and we hope you embrace that.
Well, and you can blame the downfall of the Catholic religion on the homosexuality. Because back in the 50s, right? 40s, 50s, 60s, if you were gay in America and Catholic, how is the only way you could hide from that in society and remain in society in your group?
Right. Yeah.
Become a priest.
Yeah. Go to the monastery or whatever. Go to the priest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and if there's one thing that I've seen in my 56 years that's going to eventually show its ugly face is someone's sexual proclivities.
Yeah.
Sometime in their life, it will come out. No. Whether it's early, young, old, married, unmarried, whatever. It's going to come out.
Right.
And the more you suppress it, the more the worse the outcome's going to be. I saw that with. There was one family in the town I grew up in. No, I won't tell that story. It's easy to tell who that family is. So, but yeah, it just didn't work out well for the daughters.
Yeah.
When they became adults.
Yeah. Well, sexual abuse is awful. And the fact that the Christian church the Catholic Church spent so much time trying to cover it up and move people around and hide it is, unconscionable. But that's, on top of all the other theological stuff. And then on top of the fact that right now I want to get up Catholic Charity's ass because I think they're guilty of human trafficking. What say you?
It is. They are. By those federal statutes that I put in the chat that day.
Yep.
They are wholly guilty.
Yep.
But guess who else is? Guess who else is?
Who's that?
And this is the problem. The governors of Texas and Florida. Because they provided transportation for them.
Yeah. I would really like to get into the books, man, someday of all this. I'd really like to see where the dollars are, man, and watch the dollars flow. Because let me tell you something.
It's all in 501c3s.
Oh, it's terrible. That's terrible. That's why people don't understand that the swamp is way deeper than anyone thinks it is. These people have been trying to entrench themselves for a whole 50 years. That's what they got on us, right? That's how much of a head start they have. We're out here going, la, 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 la. Okay, I got my second car. Okay, wow. Hey, did you get the baby stroller? Hey, wow. I got Netflix. Holy shit. Wow, isn't that cool? Did you get the HBO? Am I tracking? Am I talking to anybody here?
Oh, it's bread and circuses of Rome.
That's right. Lots of bread, man. Lots of bread and circuses.
We just witnessed the Jake Paul circus.
Don't even.
Last weekend.
Oh, fuck me, man. Dude, we streamed that 13 and a half hours. I was so pissed. Yeah. Oh,
and the best fight in there was between two women. And guess what? The white girl shouldn't have won.
Right. No, she shouldn't have.
She shouldn't have.
No.
And I can't believe they let that fight go on with that cut on that girl's head.
Oh, dude. I was convinced after the first time they cut her that it was going to be over. Most fights I've ever seen, it was over.
I've never seen somebody out fighting with a flap of open skin like that, ever.
No, I don't either. So, yeah, that tells me everything is just all wrong, right?
Do you want a sleepy pill?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Let's go on. Eliminate prayer and any phrase of religious expression in the schools on the grounds that it violates the principles of separation of church and state.
Yep.
I always challenge people to show me the word separation of church and state in any founding document.
There isn't.
It doesn't exist.
No, it comes from
limited is Congress on making a national religion.
That's right. And as a matter of and let me clarify, because I happen to be an expert on this subject, okay? Because I've drilled down on this before. This came from the letter, 1893 letter, I think. I might be wrong on the year, but from Thomas Jefferson to the Danbury Baptist Commission organization, something like that. And he was saying that, look, they were, the Danbury Baptists were worried and said, listen, we just came out of religious persecution. You can't come along and make a damn state religion just like King George did, okay? To which he responded in this letter, and he said that we shall build a wall of separation essentially between the church and the state. It was a figure of speech he used. That is not in the Constitution. Hell, it's not even printed at the fucking base of the Statue of Liberty, for fuck's sake. It's not a thing.
No.
Okay? And
Stop.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Let's talk about the Statue of Liberty, right? Where'd that come from?
France. I know where it came from. It came from fucking France. Okay?
So who wrote that? Who wrote that shit on it?
France.
As a thank you for what? Taking their trash out.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes.
Stop.
Enough said.
Yes. But you
Enough
just
said
totally
about
what
the Statue of Liberty says.
You just fucking turned everybody's understanding of American history on its fucking head, Mick. You do understand that. People are going, wait, what? What did you just say? What? I learned that it's like a symbol of freedom, man, and like Ellis Island and all that
tired masses
stuff,
teeming
man,
to our
and the
shores,
masses.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we've been getting screwed around and jacked around by the world and forces outside of the United States of America. And we've had things that have been planted in America that are not American ideas. Hence, the entire topic we've been talking about tonight. Okay? All this shit, every bit of this Democratic crap, I'm sorry, un-American. Un-American. Right?
Yep. Oh, yes, sir. Surely. Let's cover the next one because we're getting into the good weeds now.
This is fun, man.
Yeah.
I miss hey, by the way, we're blowing right through this stupid meeting. This meeting, it's 8:02 of the you want to go into my email and log in? I don't know. I don't even you know
the Pine Tree Patriots thing?
No.
Oh.
The
okay.
anti-MAGA meeting. I was going to live stream that tonight.
Oh.
I was going to log in and I signed up and everything. I was going to listen in. But you know what? To tell you the truth, I think it's less important than what we're talking about right now. So let's just keep rolling with this, man. I enjoy you more.
Okay. Discredit the American Constitution by calling it inadequate, old-fashioned, and out of step with modern needs. A hindrance to cooperation between nations on a worldwide basis. Who said that our Constitution was a charter of negative liberties? Name that man.
Oh, geez. I'm not even going to guess, but I know the phrase.
Barack Hussein Obama.
Oh. Okay. No, actually, that's so wrong because they're not, okay? We are endowed by certain inalienable rights that are given to us by God the Father. You know? Yes. So our rights don't come from government.
No. Government is beset to protect those rights.
Well, you know, the problem is anymore we don't have the ability to do critical thinking. They don't teach it in the schools anymore.
I sent you a picture, and I think we could do an entire another show on it. And what it is, it's an 8th grade test from 1912 or 1918.
Mm-hmm.
This was the test given to students to see if they would pass to go to the next grade. I invite you to look at it.
What grade is this?
And tell me. This is to go from 8th grade to 9th grade.
Okay.
This test.
Okay.
And you had to pass this to get promoted. Because you used to actually get promoted to the next grade, not just passed on to it.
Right. Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. And tell me that a college graduate today could pass this test.
No.
Take a look at it.
All right.
That could be
are you going to read some of the
subject.
Are you going to read the questions? You got it up?
No.
Where do
I sent you the picture in X, but I think we could do a whole show on it itself.
Okay.
Because I've got
let's leave it for another day,
examples of these tests.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, but it's important because I think our society has been dumbed down deliberately on many levels because they want a compliant electorate. They just, and all of our choices that have been given to us up to Donald Trump have been false choices. They're false dichotomies. Well, this guy over that guy. Well, they're both owned by the big guy, whoever that is, right? So, all right, go on.
Go on.
Okay, here we go.
Forage on.
Fuck you.
And fuck you too, says my wife. She has Tourette's syndrome, by the way. If you hear any of that going on, She has Parkinsonian illness. And what people don't realize is that usually we're pretty good in the mornings during our morning show, which you should be joining us 8 to 10 a.m. every single day, Monday through Friday, right here on TNN and on X. But yeah, she kind of gets a little tweaky, right? And sometimes she starts cursing and cussing and what's going on, and it's fine. But I think I lost. Is he still here? Are you still with us?
No, I'm here. I'm here, sir.
Kevin popped in. We got a third guy.
Oh, cool.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right. Come on in, Kevin. You're live. Hot. What's going on, Kevin? Oh, he disappeared. He went away.
Chicken.
Wait, no, he's back.
Oh, whoa.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Kevin, unmute yourself.
Tater, come.
Kevin, we are on live. Unmute your microphone. Can't hear you, dude.
Tater, come.
Well, damn. He went away. Okay, keep going.
Oh. Okay, we'll go to the next one because it kind of goes along with that. Discredit the founding fathers, present them as selfish aristocrats who had no concern for the common man.
Oh, God, that sounds... And listen, geez. Isn't that true? What? Hey, there he is, Kevin. Yo. I can hear you. Kevin, can you hear us?
Kevin is nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin. We got Kevin in the
Kevin,
house.
what's up?
How's it going? I just randomly saw you on Twitter, and somebody asked where I follow on the Uninquirer.
Yes, he's
guy.
my friend.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, he's my friend. Good friend of mine.
Okay. And I was just surprised to see that I think it was you. You said the Dexter VFW, and I'm like, whoa. This awesome human being lives in my area. I just live in Dexter, Maine. That's all.
Oh,
and
do you really?
I'm on Twitter. I'm Truth Shall Reign, but I'm not super active. But I think we jive.
Oh, dude, Kevin, please DM me. Yes, I mean I'm 15 minutes from Dexter, man. We could sit down at the Dunkin' Donuts. This is what I love. Okay, about Twitter is that it gives you reach around the world. But what I've found it's been most useful for is connecting with people locally. And Kevin, man, we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Patriots that are within 20 minutes to an hour of each other now.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, DM me. So how do you like the conversation so far? Do you have any opinion on what's going on with the?
I haven't even had a chance to listen, dude.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, okay.
That's
like
cool.
I saw the show. I saw the show, and it looked like it was already done. But then I clicked on the earlier post before the last post, and that you are live. So okay.
Yeah. It got cut in two for some reason, and that would be the fact that we ran out of gasoline. So now would be a good time to let everybody know that we are indeed supported by viewers.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.
And.
Right, we got to talk about that. I mean, it does happen. We've got to. It costs money to run a broadcast. All right, where are we?
Oh, yeah.
It's dark in here.
I used to run off the generator up in Dexter, but we got power in like 2004. But my neighbor's still using generator constantly.
Oh my God!
But my friend just helped set them up with a little bit of battery setup, and they just need some solar. But yeah.
Yep. Okay, I'm totally screwed up. I got to find my interview panelist thing. Everybody out there is seeing black screen right now because I completely lost where I was. I run like so many different shows that I have so many different scenes that people don't realize that the software doesn't always catch up with what we're supposed to be doing. All right, hang on. Interview panelists. Okay, there we go. Thank God, man. Everybody out there is going, wow, it's dark in here. Is everybody there? Okay. All right. Now they see things. Okay. So, well, you know what? I really love the fact that you joined us, and anybody else out there wants to join us, I'm going to copy the link because this is a hot mic night, as they say. And we're trying something different here, man. If you want to jump in and communicate with us, talk about Maine politics, say what's going on, what you think is happening, then feel free to just jump on in if you got the cojones, right? You know? And it's cool. You don't have to bring your camera on. You know, you can be anonymous, and you can come in and just say hi and hang out with us and see what's going on. All right, I think we're stable now. I think everybody sees things. I think we're back on the communist list, Mick. You want to continue to go on with that?
got a
Uh-oh.
picture. No, kitty. Fuck you.
Uh-oh.
And fuck you.
Where's Mayo Monkey?
Where'd he go? He's in the middle.
Oh, sorry, man.
No.
I muted myself when I was.
Oh yeah,
lighting a
yeah, yeah,
cigarette,
yeah.
so.
No, since Kevin has apparently just wanted to share that he's in Dexter. Kevin, please DM me, okay? Hit me up, man. And Unquirer, awesome guy, dude. And we're glad to have you, man. So we want to know you. DM me. I'm right here in Ripley, and hang out with us, man. So continue on, please.
Okay. Belittle all forms of American culture and discourage the teaching of American history on the grounds it was only a minor part of the big picture. Done.
Yeah.
Support any socialist movement to give centralized control over any part of the culture, education, social agencies, welfare programs, mental illness clinics, etc.
Read that one again for me, please.
All right. Support any socialist movement to give centralized control over any part of the culture, education, social agencies, welfare programs, mental health clinics, etc.
Well, of course. Absolutely.
Done and
absolutely, of course. Because, for example, like the thing that pops to mind is the CDC. Okay. The CDC is running studies on whether you having a gun is a mental health disorder, right? Whether it's an epidemic.
They've made it a public health crisis.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Which is, I think, the point that you're making here.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Done and done.
Yep. Eliminate all laws which interfere with the operation of the communist apparatus. Done. Eliminate the House committees on un-American activities. Done. Discredit and eventually dismantle the FBI. That's being done right now. You need to be very careful with this.
They've corrupted the FBI and they own it and they use it for evil now.
But they're discrediting it in the process. This is purposeful.
Okay, yeah, we do need an FBI. You're right, and they're going to get rid of it.
Well, it's
we need a good FBI that's not corrupt.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. What you're saying is that, I mean, personally, I think that dismantling the FBI parentheses in its current state is appropriate. Okay, I'm all about the wrecking ball going into Washington right now.
Yeah.
However,
because they've discredited it.
Yes, right. And so then we don't have one, and we we sort of need one, right? But that's a problem, okay? Because what they do is they make it corrupt, so we get rid of it, so we don't have a policing agency we actually needed. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think it does make sense. Yeah. But I'm just going to say one thing. If you don't mind, I could listen to the program. Is this the only way to listen to the program?
No, I mean you can listen to it on the X and whatever. But I mean, go ahead and
X or YouTube.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
The way
I don't mean to come here randomly and take over. I'm not trying to take over.
No, we get it.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. Welcome to the conversation.
Yeah,
not a problem.
Yeah, we don't mind it at all. And as a matter of fact, you want to stay right here, that's fine. I mean, I'm not. You're not bombing us. I threw it out as an open mic. If you want to follow the link, you want to come in here and listen, and you want to talk, then let's rock on. And so unless you don't feel like you have anything to add to the conversation, Kevin, then, at that point, you could go and listen to it on X by following us live there and just listen. But hey, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where are we at here?
I was going to add that the FBI is I think we need it maybe, but at the same time, maybe if we're weary of the federal agencies, it's maybe we don't need it if states had really good investigations programs on their own. Maybe if the states were kind of taken more seriously or had more, or they were a little stronger. Because I think our country in the past 50 to 100 years has tried to marginalize states, maybe, but I don't know. I also agree that we need an FBI, but we don't need a corrupt one. Well, we might have 100. We have 100 federal agencies we might not need, though.
Yeah, I agree with you totally as far as government overreach, and I think too that the Patriot Act comes to mind when you're talking about what you're talking about, because As soon as the towers got knocked down and they said, hey, we need to spy on people. Is that okay with you, American public? Okay. And then we all went, of course, we don't want another 9/11 to happen. Geez, right? And then what happened is the Pandora's box got opened. And men are corruptible, right? So they will take that power and they will corrupt it and use it for, what was it? 100,000 inappropriate FISA court applications, guys? Over 100,000. Okay.
It sounds like you guys are actually got good memory and you actually know some facts and you retain them and you're able to sling them out. TruthSlinger.
Yes, sir.
That's
I've been paying attention to this stuff for a long time.
Awesome.
Let's move on. Infiltrate and gain control of unions. Been done.
Yep.
Infiltrate and gain control of big business. Done.
Yes. And
transfer.
I want to make a footnote on that. How did they do that?
Yep.
Well, have you ever heard of DEI? Have you ever heard of,
not just that.
Well,
not
I
just
bet that's
that.
a big one, though. Okay, that's a big one because they got a big swinging dick DEI organization that comes around and says, you are DEI compliant, aren't you? You better be, because otherwise the DEI agency will not say you're DEI compliant, and then you'll be screwed.
Yes, that's the big businesses doing it to smaller businesses, specifically the banks. That's where the ESG score comes in. That's given by banks.
The ESG score is given by banks.
Businesses who need to borrow money.
You would think DEI is a recent 5 or 10 year thing, but it really isn't. It really goes back to I would guess 70s or something, but the 90s. Yeah, the 90s has had affirmative action for a long time, and I think it's wrong to have competent people that are qualified and experienced, and they should be able to work their way up the competency hierarchy for our have the best and the brightest. We shouldn't be replacing them and keeping them back for somebody else who may not be necessarily on that level. And are the positions really that limited? I don't think so, but they've been doing that for so long.
It'd become a crutch, and it actually harms those people.
Yeah, right.
That are given benefit by it, because it puts them in spaces they're not qualified to be in.
Well, Obama forced it. Obama forced it on the air traffic controllers, and we had an air traffic controller problem.
Well, and we still do today. And the air traffic controllers came about when Ronald Reagan dismantled their union because they went on strike.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yep, he deemed it a national security issue and a safety issue, and just did a national training program and banned the unions from the air traffic controllers. Great job. Did it well.
All right.
I had you reminded me, and this is what I was going to say, is I was in Marshfield, Massachusetts, where my family's kind of from, but I've been in Dexter for a long time, ever since high school. But I come back and forth, but I live in Dexter now. And in Marshfield, in Massachusetts, I saw an example of corruption where somebody had started a business, but they're a minority. So I was a carpenter and I helped somebody at this building, and I found out what their business, the owner of the house we were working on, he had a business meeting. He was selling the business to somebody because the business had like a 10-year tax-free status because it was started by a minority, and they were selling it for millions of dollars because it was worth millions for tax laundering.
Wow.
And also for government contract access. If you're a woman minority, honestly, if you want a government contract right now, the head of your firm and the 51% owner of your company needs to be a minority female that's disabled.
Yeah,
guaranteed to get that contract.
That whole incentive structure needs to be completely dismantled, and I don't think any of us understand how deep and vast it goes. that the tentacles of this, okay, you just got to be a certain way. You got to think a certain way. You got to say things a certain way. Otherwise, you ain't going to get no money. That's the way it is.
The only federal preference that I give any credence to is veterans preference.
Right.
That's the only, and not because I'm a veteran. Because I've never benefited from that once myself.
Right.
But because it's owed to them.
Right. Right.
Specifically combat veterans.
Yep. Yep.
As far as I'm concerned, every combat vet should be tax-free for the rest of his life.
Yep.
He should also be property tax-free.
Yep. Yep.
What if he's not disabled and he's quite functional and normal and he just makes millions of dollars? You think he should still be taxed?
Yeah.
I think we should. Hey, guess what? I don't think we should have income taxes, aka direct tax. AKA, we didn't have that 100 years ago. This country was built and made in 200 years or 300, 250 years without direct tax through other taxes. How did we survive? How was this place